Yo, if you're watching this, I want to first thank you for checking out my new podcast, Success Ain't Random. Man, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into this project. I can't even tell you how many times I've actually re-recorded this video. But anyway, it means a lot to me, and I really hope you get some value out of it. For the longest time that I can remember, I've been what you would call a talker. Somebody who dreams big, has a lot of ideas, and doesn't take that much action with them. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that I never tried any of the ideas that I ever had, but for the most part, anytime I hit a little bit of turbulence, I never tried to weather the storm and see if I can make it through. And that ended about a few months ago. April 12th, 2021 to be exact, my 31st birthday. I took a long look in the mirror and saw, hey, do I really want to continue to live like this? And the answer is no. So it led me to go on this journey to create this podcast. I've met a lot of dope people, and they're doing some amazing things, each with their own unique story and a bunch of gems along the way that they've learned in their course to success. And I thought to myself, what would happen if I was intentional about being the best version of myself? I mean, like literally the best, whether it comes from physically, like with my health, mentally, reading books and just working on my mental health and stress as a whole, with my relationship with God, my relationship in my marriage, with my daughter, my entrepreneurial endeavors. What would happen if I literally took the time out to make every action count to get to that goal? Well, I'll tell you what, with a little bit of time, just a little bit of time, I've seen tons of progress. And that's what led me down this rabbit hole of just getting more gems. I find that so many successful people, they share a similarity. They're resilient and they're intentional about their actions. So I figured, let me sit down with a couple of people that I know that are doing awesome things, hear their story, and see what gems we can extract from it. And this is where you guys come in. You guys are my accountability partners. Y'all help me stay on track. And you get a front row seat to all of this game. It's free game. So why, you know what I'm saying? Now look, I will say this. All of these next 4 videos that I shot are pre-recorded. So any constructive criticism would really be appreciated. I want to grow in this. As you can see, I'm not even 100% comfortable with what I'm doing right now on camera. I'm talking extremely fast, and I can hear that and tell that. But it's okay. I'm going to improve with you guys' help. So if you could do me the hugest favor, check out the podcast. I pray you get some value from it, and let me know how I can improve. I want to make an impact, and I want to do it in the best way possible. So I thank you for taking this time out to watch this podcast. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to give you some value and some game, and I appreciate you joining this journey with me. I'm not going to be a talker anymore. That ended back then. Now it's time to put in some action. And remember, like I always say, be blessed, don't stress, you already know the rest. And before I forget, I love you, Trini. This is for you. Thank y'all. I hope you enjoy.
Yo, I just got love for everybody that gonna put their hands on this crafted clothes because I'ma outshine and burn all of y'all out. I love it.
Dog,
That's it.
that's wow. Hey, respectfully. F you.
My success, it ain't random. Float on the scene like a phantom. You and I should be on one accord. Together one hell of a tandem. I done cut ties to take it this high. The top is my spot, no questioning why. Took some L's like a champ, I just keep finding wins cause I'm really inspired.
Oh, man. Shout out to baby girl. She had to miss her gym class today because your boy was working.
Yeah.
I'm over here working, so shout out to her. But yeah, man.
We back. Success Ain't Random podcast in this beautiful, undisclosed location. We ain't gonna give it out. You feel me? I don't even know how to give this introduction justice. First of all, it's your boy V-Mel J. I'm sitting here with my guy. Yo, cutting so low at everything he drops is flames. Like y'all don't understand. I met this man. I think when I first met this man, he was sewing and doing alterations to garments at a pop-up. Like, and it was hot. And this man is at a sewing machine. And I mean, like, I'm talking about slicing through.
Which city?
Houston. It was here. It was out here.
Oh, you talking about one of the outdoor ones?
Yeah, it was at Hip Hop Vintage Flea Market.
Showed enough.
Yeah,
I had to borrow the outlet from the DJ. Yo, we had to stop. Yo, you don't know how many times I had to keep plugging that back in. People was tripping over that all day, man.
Yo, like I was dropping off a bag to my boy Tito.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, man, like funny enough, I will say this. Funny enough, you might not realize this, but that's the day I met you. Dropping that bag off gave me the funds to actually, I think it was purchase this camera. It helped me purchase this camera.
You talking about the
jacket?
Yeah, the Tokyo release Nike jacket, right? The blade,
yeah.
Bomber, yeah.
Dropping off that bomber jacket. Gave me the paper so I could purchase this on the target. Yeah. So I'm saying, man, like, hey, look, it was a part of history.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
But saw this man sewing. It was just an amazing trucker jacket. I'm talking about the flames was going up.
Yeah, that was when I was doing the flames on the sleeves.
And I asked him, I was like, yo, how did you do this? He was like, oh man, it's freehand embroidery. Like he said it like it was just nothing. Mind you, dude was zooming through as he's doing this. Words can't give it justice. FSC, Fuego Lord himself, my boy Trav. What's up, man?
Yo, it's a pleasure to be here, my dog.
Hey,
thank you for having me, man. Much love to everybody from Louisiana. I hope everybody's recovering well after the storm.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Louisiana.
Out here in Ida and Houston. But man, let's get into it, bro. I love it,
bro. Like so y'all gotta understand. We've been trying to set this up for a minute. We're trying to set this up for a minute. My man fell ill. I think the day of the interview.
Panda Express took me out.
Yo, it's cool. I don't.
Food poisoning. Well, it was done that night.
I'm not endorsed by them. So it's all good.
Oh, if you ask me my one FU to select Panda Express, boy, y'all never get nothing from me ever again in this life.
So we not partaking of that General Tso chicken.
Nah, not there. The answers ain't there. The keys not there,
man. Like I said, we literally tried to get into this multiple times, and it just schedules. This man moves around a lot. You know what I'm saying? Also, wanted to pay respects to your family. Hope everybody's doing well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The other time we tried scheduling it, man. Had to grandmother fell ill, man. Queen amongst this earth. Had to go out there and visit her. So we was out in New York for about 2 weeks, handling that. But back now, it's, God is good. It was a blessing to really live within a prayer. Because there's some things that you can pray for in this lifetime, and you may not truly know how it came into fruition. But I know for sure my grandmother prayed that we would all, like her whole family, her legacy would all be in one place at one time. And for that shit to happen, my apologies, but for that to happen,
you're good.
For that to happen, to see somebody's prayer and to live in somebody's prayer for those moments, for those few days, it's an experience like nothing else.
That's the thing about life, man. Like you can't help but respect that. At the end of the day, that's a loved one, and that's one thing we can't get back. We can chase paper, we can chase status. You know what I'm saying? We can chase security, but the one thing we cannot get back is time. So it's like you saying, "Yo, I gotta go make this trip." I'm like, dog, like You ain't gotta explain that to me. Like, say less, bro. Like, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sending prayers with you. You know what I'm saying?
To get out there and do that, man. It was special. It was unique, man.
You know, and I remember I shot you a text. I was like, "Are you in Houston?" Because in my mind I was like, I wanted to know, did you get a chance to make it out there? You feel me? So I'm happy when I saw the IGs. I was happy to see that, man.
Oh yeah, I had to look good for my mama, man. Had to. Yeah. Yo, she used to be. Hey, crazy enough, she used to go to school over at I think Carson's in New York. Mm-hmm. And see, my mama she came into the boat over through Ellis Island, you know. So she didn't have a lot of money. And whenever she was at Carson's, one of the professors stole her designs.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, they got a court case against them that they've been having for like years now. My family. I didn't even know that. Huh?
What was it? Like, what was
some
the piece?
Jackets, some trench coats, I believe, man. She had drawn up some trench coats, and they took her stuff. And that was one thing she had told me. She said, "Never let nobody take nothing from you."
Wow.
I didn't get it whenever she first told me that, and then I go talk with my uncles. They'd be like, "Yeah, no, we've been trying to fight that, yeah."
And that's why she was just like, "Yo, like off rip, don't."
But she ain't ever burdened me with that information.
True. You think that was by design though? I think she might have, kind of keeping that from you so it wouldn't hinder you from like really.
I think that's the beauty of legacy. I think the ones that come before you take the hits that you won't have to take.
Yeah, I mean, man, and it's crazy because for everything to come full circle, and now we've had extensive conversations about just you wanting to really expand on not only master the craft, but expand on, I guess you would say, how you can really leave your mark on these pieces that you put out. You know what I'm saying? And invoke that feeling. It's pretty dope. It's really pretty dope to hear that your grandmother was like actually doing this beforehand. So I want to get into all of that. Like that's the thing. Like you gotta remember, I met this man, like I said, hip hop in this flea market, and I was blown away. I was blown away at all of the pieces because I mean I had just got into trying to sew some things, and still using patterns and stuff. And you just like, oh yeah, man, using a pattern, it's pretty easy. And I'm looking at it like, dog, this is legit witchcraft, bro. Like I can't figure this out.
Hey, what was crazy is so the girl that had taught me the basics of sewing and stuff. Whenever I had gotten into pattern making, well, not pattern making, but using patterns and constructing garments. You know, she was looking at me as things were just as daunting because I'm like, man, I want to make a jean jacket. That was one of the first things I wanted to do. I was like, I want to make my own pants. I want to make a jean jacket. Like, why I can't
you just shot for the stars at the very beginning.
Yo, you gotta, you know what I mean?
At the gate, I'm coming out.
There's no point aiming low for like, so the simplest jacket you could make would be what? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six pieces, not including a zipper and no pockets.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Why would I want to start off with that whenever it's small to me? Like, yeah, you can do that. That's cool and all, but I don't want to make that. Like, I wouldn't wear it. Like, so why would I want to keep making things that I wouldn't wear? I wanted to make things that I would want to wear, essentially. So that's kind of how the patterns and making the cool stuff came about, because it's like you see all this stuff. You see, Rick Owens archive pieces. You see Como de Garçon archive pieces. All this stuff that you're like, man, it would cost me $1 bazillion, even if the person who owned it wanted to sell it. Like, who's to say they even want to get rid of that? Like, and then to say like, yo, I'm a bigger dude, so.
The cuts is way different for us.
Yo, European cuts are like, a lot of stuff like pant sizes, they're not making nothing bigger than 38. And you don't even see 38
36.
Yo, you don't, that's what I'm saying, but you don't even see 38 or 36 go down a runway.
Yeah, no.
So it's like, people will sit there and get mad at you, or people will sit there and judge you upon imitation, but truly, imitation is the building blocks to innovation, because you gotta start somewhere. And it always starts with stuff you like.
So I guess hearing that, you would say that like you getting into the whole cut and sew, just designing thing came out of not only like the love for just fashion in general, but out of necessity, because you you're not walking into any store and just pulling off not that piece you want. You might get the leftovers and pulling that piece off that you want out the
years
rack.
of work to do it the way they tell you to do it. Because essentially, I'd have to go get like what, a 6-7 figure job before I could afford the that like that you would want to wear. Like, come on now, and you know, you can sit there and say that, yeah, but they got Kelly and John over here they're in fashion and they want to do the same stuff and they're making it. You can shop with them and that's fine, but ultimately, like I said, part of what they do is going to be imitation. It's not going to be the full thing because they're going to look at it as their own creative and be like, I want it to be a wholesome idea for me. I don't want you to look at the stuff I make and be like, oh, that's so-and-so's.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Because you want credit.
Difference between fast fashion and actual, like, this is a unique piece. You know what I'm saying? I think I got more into that, getting into vintage. That was my thing. Like, I always like somewhat liked designer. I wasn't really super huge on it, like not the super heavy monogram stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
it's made for the rich.
Yeah.
Like old money, new money. Like,
but it was something about
those are people who buy label, like everything label, but you don't know it's labeled.
But that's the thing that was dope. Like, I thought that was the dopest thing. Like, to go and be like, oh man, this is a Christian Dior like bomber jacket.
Yeah, or
but
whatever.
You don't. It does not say Christian Dior all over it.
It's on the tag on the inside,
or maybe like a small little emblem, right? But it was just the cut and the material that they used and how since it's old.
On the zipper, it might say.
Yeah. Like that's the dopest thing. Still the dopest thing to me the other day. But I don't want to.
But understand that appeals to exclusivity, not the masses. That's why you see a lot of these high-end brands nowadays, they switch to the monograms. Because Louis Vuitton is one with they did the monograms first with their luggage.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's why Louis Vuitton always kind of sat at the top as far as the general public went.
Yeah.
But that's why you see all these other designer brands in the last 5 to 10 years have created their own monograms and started marketing the monograms. The D on Dior, the Burberry with the buckles and stuff going through the B's, because the monograms are what appeal to the masses, not the people who are going to be intellectual with exclusivity, because these are people who understand that in a professional setting, you can't have these big LVs and stars all over our stuff because they're conducting business on a level that isn't fashion or isn't culture. They're conducting business on a level of maybe, you know, houses, budgeting, lawyering, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
And you would you say that speaks to these brands just trying to tap into that the consumers want and desire to be noticed and seen? Because obviously, right, like not to pick on my ladies, but when women get a bag, when women get bags, right, they're not getting that nice particular grain of leather or type of leather bag that happens to be a Chanel bag or happens to be a Louis. They're getting I want you to know that my stuff is Chanel. I want you to know my stuff is Louis Vuitton. I want you to know my stuff is MCM.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I think there's two different types of women when it comes to bags. I think there's one type of woman who doesn't have a car, can't keep up with a note, but will buy a fake Louis Vuitton bag and you see her walking to the bus stop with it. All right, that's one type of woman. And then there's another type of woman who, listen, it's a learning curve for everybody. You have to start somewhere, and you have to understand if what people consume nowadays is the stuff of what icons wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think back like 10, 20 years ago, you only saw like celebrities with stuff like Chanel because those were the only people in the magazines that you bought.
Yeah.
You didn't see everyday people with the stuff on because everyday people weren't worried about it like that.
Yeah.
So the learning curve now, because it used to be how your mother would, buy you a purse or two and you would understand, oh, I like the crocodile. I like the leopard print. I like, you know what I mean? And you build from there, and then you develop a sense of luxury for the purse that you have. And that's why you see a lot of older women are more interested, have always been interested in the Birkins, not the Birkins, the Birkin bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of it has to do with the history of the
Birkin bag been there.
Yeah,
it's been $40,000, $80,000. It's been there. Like, but understood like only a certain caliber of woman was even looking at it because they understood what it was and the quality that went into it. Nowadays, you have women who don't even understand qualities of leather from tumble to straight, any type of leather. They don't understand it because all they're hearing is, yo, you ain't winning unless you have this. And it doesn't feel good to not win. Everybody wants to win.
Yeah. Most people want to look like they have it. How to actually get it?
We all got a few friends who every year, whether it be basketball or football, they flip flop teams with the players.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, so and so a Golden State fan.
Wasn't you rocking with the Lakers? Nah.
Yeah.
They'll tell you shut up. Like,
Everybody you want to feel like a winner. There's nothing wrong with that feeling. You know what I'm saying? But also that understand that because everyone feels like a winner, I can make that statement. But they got floors of people who sit there and they use that same concept to sell you a product.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the brands that we mentioned earlier come
quality comes in.
Yeah, and they come in with making all these heavy monogram stuff. Like, it's like, hey, you want to look like a winner? As long as they know it's Louis.
The masses are in tune a little bit. They're more in tune than they've been before, as far as the general sense of the public.
Yeah.
That's how it works as far as that sort of branding with the monograms in my eyes anyway.
But I don't want to get him too much shine. We're here to talk about Fuego Squad, Fuego Lord himself. But I wanna bring this back. We talked about you having to go back to New York, see family, and everything. And I want to bring us back to humble beginnings. Before Fuego Squad, before the designer that you are now, where do we start? How did that love, that first touch of a sewing machine even come into play?
Before there was a sewing machine, there was glue and pants.
Glue and pants?
Glue and pants, man. Fabric glue. Before that, it was spending, anywhere from $100 to $300 on pants, anywhere from $100, $150 to $400, $500 on shoes. It was like, yo, this kid's like
this man. How old? What age is this?
Yo, this is like middle of high school, maybe 8th grade too.
Nah,
8th grade going to
wasn't
high
happening.
School. I don't like Adidas. I don't really care for Adidas too much, but I love the fact that they gave designers a way to do things. I love they had the Rick Owens and the Raf Simons collabs and the Y3. I was buying all three. It was dropping stuff. I was so interested in the Raf shoes because they had interchangeable parts in the outsole.
There was some Jeremy Scott stuff.
Yeah, Jeremy Scott was one of them too.
Not so much the stuffed animal ones and stuff like that, but I got it. I thought it was dope, but it just wasn't for me. But I love the wings.
Hey, crazy thing about Jeremy Scott, he was kind of my intro into it because, just like most people, I listen to music, I already like to dress different and wear my style a little bit different, and then to find that ASAP and everything had kind of blown up, I enjoyed that, and boom, he liked Jeremy Scott, so that's how I found out about that. The Adidas collabs with Raf, Rick, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of was my gateway into it as far as understanding the designer tier of things. That there's of course streetwear, of course sportswear, but it was at a point in time in life where people talked about designer as far as everyone had a vague kind of thing towards it because keep in mind this is a part of time where you're just coming off of Kanye wearing double polos.
True.
You know
I fell into that too.
Swag was weird. Swag was really weird, man. Joggers hadn't even really popped out in the South. I was looking at people in New York wearing joggers.
Funny thing about that.
That was
funny thing about joggers, man. So I don't remember where or who I saw this. Who did I see have them on? But I remember the brand. I was at the time I was living in Lake Charles, and I'm just like you. I got into ASAP. I got heavy into Wale. and like just watching how he would mix the kicks with the designer and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's dope. And that's kind of how I first saw, like, realized, oh wait, you can get some of these same vibes from vintage if you know what you're looking for. But I still didn't know where to get it because this is still in Lake Charles, Louisiana, right? So I remember seeing Publish Brand.
That was the first joggers
Publish
I paid
brand.
150 for.
And there was a pair of khaki joggers. You know, you going out. I'm going out to the club and stuff. And I'm dressing. I'm trying to find my style. Right?
Yeah.
I got it heavy in the streetwear, but when I would go out, I'm thinking, oh, you know what? Let's theme it up a little bit. And the homies, we used to say, oh man, what we rocking today? Khakis. We doing khaki. And then I thought about it like, oh, I got these sneakers, these joggers. I could definitely show off my shoes. Let me buy those. And I remember like being one of the first people in Lake Charles with those joggers on. I felt like the man, bro.
Yo, tell me
Not
this.
too long after that, everybody in their moms having joggers.
Tell me this about them pants though.
Go ahead.
You wash them once and they ain't fit right after time.
No, actually, mine held up.
Oh shit.
Mine, see,
I had the teal pair. You see, I didn't get the khaki. I got the teal pair because at the time I had a Timberland Werewolves jersey, and it was So I was same time with the fashion stuff. I had to turn to vintage because it gave you that exclusive feel at a better price. Like vintage shirts wasn't the same price points that they are now. That same $100 tees y'all buying were like $30, $40.
yeah,
Like, that's what it was.
I think the only thing that really held up is
the hip hop tees.
Yeah, the hip hop tees.
Hip hop tees always been expensive.
It's gonna always be expensive.
Always.
But like if you was trying to find you like that
Rock tee.
that what it was, Ride the Lightning or Feel the Wind tees with the Eagles and the Lightning, bro. The American Thunder tees, I think was like
$40, $50.
Yeah, 35.
Ah,
Bigger
you
sizes,
cheaper, yeah.
35. Oh yeah, like the 2Xs. They just trying to get off of them because ain't nobody was buying them like that.
I think Marvel tees always been expensive. Marvel tees been about $100.
Those talking about those like big prints.
90s, the 80s, 90s. Yeah. Well, just Marvel tees in general always been expensive.
Yeah.
Because the people who bought Marvel tees was fans of Marvel, so it was.
Yeah.
It isn't like it is now where people just like the style.
Especially if there's a date, if there's the year under it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they was buying.
For sure.
Gone. But yeah, so I was into the jerseys at the time, and I got this Timberwolves jersey with the stitching on it was the silver that really popped, and on the sleeves it had the trees. It had the trees going all the way around on the border of the neck and the thing. And I was like, oh, that's the one. Listen, there's a lot of different style jerseys, but some of them come with like rare little features that I'm like, that's what you need in the jersey. That was it. But bought them pants for that. I wore them once in New York. And then I washed them and I wore them again, and I was like, why they don't fit the same?
It was a little bit tighter.
Man, it was just the way they felt. Like they did shrink a little bit, so like the crinkles in it and everything just wasn't as like crisp and like pristine. It was like.
So I got smart. Like I sized up.
He said I sized up.
I did. No, I did. Like I learned because I had got a pair of joggers, like, but it was some jogger sweats, and I bought them exact size, and I was like, yo, this is khaki. I don't know how these khakis gonna fit. I'm gonna buy a size up just in case. You know what I'm saying? And when I did that, of course, it fit good because I mean they're cut to be like kind of slim, straight leg. But once they shrunk down, it was like, oh, these are like I could wear these as a not dressier street situation going, but just like it was good for the time that we was in, basically. Yeah. But okay, so you spending all this money on sneakers and pants, and where do we get to the gluing of the pants? Like, how did that come about?
Well, I wouldn't even say I was spending maximum amounts of money on it. I probably paid like at maximum $300 for a pair of like nudie jeans or something, and out of like expensive jeans. I might have had like
nudie jeans. It's high, bro.
See, back then you couldn't get them everywhere, so it was like you get them aftermarket or you get them resale. You know what I'm saying? For me, anyway. Mm-hmm. But I probably had all in all, as far as designer pants, I probably had maybe like 5, 10 pairs max. Out of shoes, I probably had maybe around 15, 20 pairs, like higher end shoes.
So then
As
it's
far as like they were more obscure designers, but like that was the stuff. Really shit that I only wore once.
so like
That
what?
was goofy stuff.
So so when you get down to like just kind of the customization of your jeans and your pants and stuff like that.
Stop wanting to pay so high prices. It was I stopped wanting to pay these
Keep
high.
resourceful.
Stop wanting to pay these taxed prices because it's just like as a big guy, like you buying it. And like I said, you paying $150 for a pair of published brand pants. You wash them once and they don't fit the same. You start to feel like, man, I'm feeling robbed. How people do this? What's going on? And it's like, yo, I wanted more and I wanted it to be better stuff. Like I felt like, yeah, I'm paying a high end price for a thing that is not quite what I want. So then it came to, well, what do you want? So let me try things out with I started with pants, with bottoms, because one, I was paying a tax price, and two, I couldn't get the size that I wanted because I might have to get a 36 and I wear like a 38-40. You know what I'm saying? Or they didn't have my size because my size would always sell out fast.
Yeah, facts. They only make so many.
Especially in the big sizes. Especially in the big sizes. But so boom, I started off with bottoms, just like gluing like patches on, gluing the denim underneath, stuff like that. And people gravitated towards it. I had people that supported it and would buy stuff like as far as the ideas that I would create. Like really what it was that grabbed people was the distressing. The distressing, and I knew how to take it in, and I would take it in like with glue, crazy enough.
And you would take in pants with glue?
Yes. Like I would tailor your pants and it would be glued.
They would. How would that stay?
Oh, I'm a wizard.
Well, he ain't gonna get a secret. He ain't gonna get a sauce on.
I'm a wizard. But understand that wasn't for too long. Because, like, naturally from that, it's like, well, this is like, you feel like that's a third of the process. Because you understand, like, there's only, like, yeah, sometimes it comes out perfectly right, but then sometimes you realize that there isn't longevity based upon the material. The cheaper the materials, it's not going to hold. Then you understand as you work with different materials, leather on denim, leather doesn't stretch the way denim stretches, so you have to stitch it in. You know what I mean?
You're going to be dealing with a
Yeah, so then I had to find somebody that could teach me how to sew, and that's what I found. And thankfully they was able to teach me the basics, and from there it just grew from the want and the ambition of trying to learn more and wanting to make better stuff. Because as you understand how stuff is made, then it's like you take the glasses off and you can see, you're looking at this thing in the store and you're like, why is it this price? If you understand the process of making it, the prices don't add up, but you understand that that's finesse.
So here's a question for you. So once we got off of the gluing the pants and customization and all that good stuff, and you ended up running into the person to show you how to sew. Who was that person?
Well, that was my ex, man, but
Yo, hey, shout out to you. You made a beast. Okay, so we're not gonna be for certain reasons we're not gonna dive that deep into that.
You're not gonna put too much light on something that don't need it.
You feel me? Can you say what was the piece that made you like that first made you be like, all right, yeah, we running with this. Like after you got a hold of the basics of sewing, it was that piece that you worked on, and when it was done, because everybody got that piece. I know whenever I started off doing shoes, I done like an Arnold Palmer dunk. Dunks was my thing. I had done some like burgundy dunks. I had done some gold and black dunks, and I did this shoe for my homie. Shout out to Cole, K. Rashad. I did these pairs of shoes. I didn't even want to do them, some Jordan ones, and he wanted me to do some ice cream themed Jordan ones. I thought this was the stupidest idea. Like, yo, I'm saying it on camera. He knows this. I thought this was the stupidest idea. It got me the most love I had ever got that far, because like I got featured on Angelus, people that make the paint. I got featured on their page from these shoes, and it was like taking an idea that I really didn't think was cool, but I was like, okay, how could I do this and still do it justice?
Yeah.
What I think is cool. Yeah, man. I mean, stratosphere after that. But from when I did that is when I was at that point I was hooked. It was like, all right,
Plugged
this is
in.
fire. This is hard. This
You
is hard.
was like,
let me learn more. Yeah, the energy gets turned up.
Yeah,
So who was that
it'd
piece
be
for
like
you?
that internet a whole wave, and
Yeah.
like once you can plug in a little bit and you can feel that energy just
yeah,
jolt
yeah.
your system, like, true, yeah, you love it. And it's always the flashy things that plug you in the fastest, like things that really pop or plug you in like nothing in this world.
So like, what was that piece for you?
Man, a piece for me that was like that, I would think to say, I did this army vest.
Okay.
And this is when I first started doing sewing and screen printing at the same time. And I screen printed like FSC on the back, and it was this army vest I got at the Salvation, the Army Surplus. I'd also,
Either one could have happened. Could have been either one.
but yeah, bought it at this Army Surplus, and I bought all these patches with it too. I didn't really know what these Army patches were, but I bought them all, and they were just like these really cool ones, like Black Cat, the Bomb Squad, all these other ones to put it on it. When I made that, and I think I posted that, and an artist I knew in the area had hit me up for it, and this man spent, I think, like $450 with me like that night. Like, I ain't had the jacket for 24 hours, like before it was out of there, and that's when I knew I was like, this is different.
This is different. this is what I need to be doing right here. Yeah. Let's double down on this. Right
Yeah, as far as really understanding, like, okay, stuff I make, you know, come out crazy dope without expectation. You know what I mean? So, but the flashy piece that really, like, I would say really like kind of
spoke to you. That's what I want to know.
Would be when I first started making the jean jackets with the velour. And like and what's crazy is I didn't even drop it. I sold all like 3 or 4 jackets I had made. I had never released them. Like there's no pic. Like I have pictures. Nobody else has seen the pictures.
What happened? So somebody just bought them all?
They sold. Like I honestly, what I had seen with it was I wanted every color on the rack. Like I wanted to do like some real boutique pop-up stuff. Like yo, what you would buy like, and it was on some real ego trip stuff. Like, cause this is like in my head, I'm like, yo, you just want to meet me. Like,
this is the gaudiest piece I'm gonna make.
Super ego trip. Like, I just wanted to make these jean jackets with this upholstery velour in every color, and I wanted them on the rack as a rainbow. And I would just go pop up tour, and I would bring that in shirts, and the shirts would sell, and those would be what people would come view. And if you had enough money, you'd buy it. Real ego trip stuff. As I started accumulating the colors, and like mind you, like for materials, I'm spending like $160 every time, or $200 every time, because it's like it's not cheap for a yard of this stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then it's like, yo, do I make the smaller sizes, the bigger sizes? It's like, yo, let's do the lighter colors in the smaller sizes and the darker colors in the bigger sizes. And I'm like, well, you already did pink in 2X. So what we? You
gotta figure it out.
So it was stuff like that, and it was just like, nah, it's an idea on hold for later, and that's why I think I never really released it. But that was the pieces. Like every time anyone would see them, their expression was so taken aback. Like I've never seen I don't know. That's the real grace in what I do is like, yo, to make something like to where somebody can look at it and they never would believe in this world that you made that. It's something like that's the acceptance I enjoy, because I like blowing people's minds, and there's nothing like blowing somebody's mind like having something physically that they're like, I can't believe you did this.
So I want to get this out real quick. What is the thing? Because I can see the passion behind it, and so many people, like we spoke about earlier, they're putting out stuff that somebody else made, and I'm just gonna kind of tweak it here or tweak it there.
I didn't invent jean jackets.
Where did you find, I guess you would say, your groove, your particular style? And I essentially translated it into, because I mean we were hearing it come into Grace's story where you're like, yo, I was always I wanted to be fly. I was always into fashion. This is what it is. But I'm making this out of necessity. I want dope stuff, but I can't find it how I want it. So now I'm customizing. Now I'm making, and of course I'm a full blown designer because I know how to make all these things. Where does that style come from? You would say? Is it because it sounds like
my
is it a
family,
mixture?
my legacy, man. Like, I would say, yo, like I told you earlier, my grandmother, she did the clothes. Like, yo, she was the type of person, my grandmother was the type of person, yo, she might make an outfit same day and wear it that night. Like, yo, we talking about dress, scarf, jacket, bonnet, everything. Like, she was making her whole outfit. Like, it really didn't matter. She might buy a pair of shoes and do it. And then my cousin, too. My cousin, he used to be really big on, like, on trends. On being just up on trends as far as, yo, what looks good and matches the trends of the area, because he was more New Orleans based.
Yeah.
So it was a real mesh of that, I would say, like, more so my cousin because it was a male. But I know from as far as legacy goes, I get it from my grandmother. And that's, I would say that is. But keep in mind, too, at the same time that I really started doing my own clothes, I would say another driving force is that my back was against the wall.
Okay.
Like, I quit my job.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yo.
It was it was ride or die, make or break.
That is something that I'm not there yet. Yo, I'm not there yet. Like, I've heard this from a lot of different entrepreneurs, like in different fields, right? That you go so much harder when you let that job go and you just jump out that window, because it's do or die at that point. You know what I'm saying? What was that like? What was that moment? You know what I'm saying? When you made it up in your mind, hey, I'm gonna double down on this.
Frustrated, man. I hated work. Well, I didn't hate working there, but I had recently started hating working there. It was one of the people. So, all right. Coming out of football in college, I understood work ethic. So whenever I started working at places, I could kind of see how my work ethic would be a predominant force in the success within somebody else's business. And not to say that I'm the only wheel turning, but when you got a lot of good things going, you're bound to do something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can impact your own self.
Yeah, but I see with a business, when you have people that are motivated to do the work and do it the right way, how effectively anything can work. Like, there's a reason why they got stores in the mall that sell candles.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw a commercial recently where it was like they were playing on how young people are starting to become their parents, and he was like, how does a store in the mall, keep overhead selling candles? And when you think about it, it doesn't matter how.
Yo,
the people
I'm
that
one of them people that would go to that store, yo. I just got in the
just to figure out, like, yo, is it really all candles? And it is. Like, it is.
Well, see, I've gotten into candles.
But understand.
So it's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Like, but anything can work if you have people that are motivated and want to see that it works. You know what I'm saying? So part of that is I saw my impact on the success of business, and I knew that, like, yo, this is what I want to do, then I'm going to do it. And I know if I put my hard work in, eventually it'll bear the fruit that I want.
So, like, I would say, like, you saw how impactful you were at your job, but you at the same time knew how passionate you were about doing the cut and sew, getting into starting Fuego Squad and all that good stuff. Well,
Fuego Squad wasn't even an idea yet.
Okay.
This is just understanding the fact that my hard work in a contribution to somebody else's idea or business, and understanding my part I played in the success that was garnered from that. And once I saw that, I realized, well, do I want to spend 5 years putting that hard work into somebody else's business and watching it thrive and grow? Or do I want to put that hard work into me or something I created, and then I have 5 years of portfolio showing, like, yeah, you got this, that's all you. Like, every bit of it traces right back to you or what you've done, rather than, scattering it. Like, yeah, I worked here, but I also did this. And then I also felt like you can't really have one foot in, one foot out. Like, yeah, some people can multitask in that way, but I'm a person like, if this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna just go all in and let the cards fall where they may.
Yeah.
It's either you're gonna go all in and something's gonna happen, a positive result, or you're gonna go all in and you're gonna get an underwhelming result. I won't say negative, because if you put your all into anything, there's no real like. You don't lose. There's no lose. There's only it's only what you understand from the situation. That's why they say the more things that you gain, like a website or a store or this, it provides you with better analytics so you can understand your failures. You can understand, like, you'll drop a line or a season of clothing and you understand it did bad or it did well, but doing bad isn't bad. It's an understanding, okay, this is where the market's at currently, or this is where things are trending, or this time of year is not the time that people are buying this. Like, it's not too many people. Like, there was a joke I would say, like, because whenever I'm selling jackets in the summer, like, that's a joke to me, because people not selling jackets in the summer. Go to Macy's or Dillard's in dead of summer, they don't have jackets on the rack, except for blazers and suits, like funeral stuff, But they don't have no bomber jackets, stuff like that. I'm telling you, I'm selling winter clothes. I'm selling you winter clothes in the summer. To me, that was like a flex, because I was like, who can do that? That's the harder route, in my opinion. I was like, that's the harder route.
See, I would like something like that, because I want a pro tip. Shop off season, man. Shop off season. You can get so much stuff for deals. I'm talking about bargain. Like, from your favorite brands, whatever, just shop off season, man. That's But yeah, you're right. And people not really doing that. People not dropping their fall winter collections or anything that they could put in there.
I've always wanted to drop an organized collection in the sense, but I've never been able to see it through. As far as like,
wow.
Because pro tip, you only have two hands and one head.
Yeah.
Pro tip, like, anything you do, you only got two hands, one head. So you can only do it so much, and they got people who work all night or all day or work both. You know what I'm saying? But you could get burnt out fast.
Yeah. So how did you? Because of that, like that makes me ask the question. So, like, now this is a full-time thing that you're doing. How did Fuego Squad actually come about? Like how did you just say, okay, yeah, this is the name, this is what I'm doing, this is how I make this happen? Yeah.
My business partner and mentor, Dwight Alexander. He actually was really that encouragement. I met him when I went back to college. We were sitting in class, in the back row class with a few other guys. And like, I've always been that goofball, loudmouth clown. So, the teacher's this little corny white man who was like, he's an English teacher, dog. He had the assignment, and he was like, so everybody pull out your assignments from the other night or whatever. So all of us on the back row, we held it up. He was like, we shot it up, we like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, oh, you guys are a little fire squad. And I leaned back in the chair and I said, Fuego. And my friend Dwight, he was like, that's it.
That's the name.
Because he knew like I already had like a idea for the, what the fuck? That was a fly. It's stuck in my head. We're gonna cut that out.
We go ahead. You gotta edit that.
I'm just hearing the buzzing, bro. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, holy shit, that was a fly. But lean back and I was like, Fuego, and he was like, that's it right there, because he knew like I had already been trying to do the clothing as far as like little things, but I hadn't really stepped out with it because I didn't feel confident in the name going forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a huge thing, bro.
Yeah, and even still, like, people question the name right now. Like, Fuego Squad doesn't roll off the tongue as some people would like. FSC might not, but it doesn't matter.
I mean, does any name?
Exactly. Does it matter? Does it matter?
It just matters. It becomes easier to say as soon as it becomes a household name. Right?
Well,
So
I
more
think
people
the fact that people debate it or make it a topic for debate, like, yo, I think it should be this or that. I think that makes it more interesting in itself.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fact that you are so interested in it that you're like, I like what's going on. I think the name is the problem.
So that's the only thing I got to work on. That's all I got to fix. Okay, cool.
I like that. I'm like, okay, well, we'll have this conversation. I'll see where you want to go with it. But yeah, that was the pivotal moment where I was like, boom, I have the idea for the name. Now let's just create. Let's just start making stuff and move forward from here. Was that moment in class. He leaned back, I said Fuego, he said, that's it.
Man, so what was that first piece underneath the Fuego brand?
Flame jacket. I bought a jean jacket.
On the sleeves?
No.
Okay.
Before that, it was a Levi jean jacket, and I painted 3 layers of paint.
Okay.
Red flames that were going across the torso.
Okay.
In front and back on the torso, nothing on the sleeves. And it was, first layer was red, second layer was orange, third layer was yellow. Yellow being on the top, So that was the first piece, and I think the collar was white. And yeah.
Like the shirt, white? Or you painted it white?
Painted it white, yeah. Painted it white. It was painted stuff like, I was doing drawings on pants, like I was kind of curious into like screen printing and also like just graphics on like denim at the time. I was doing little cartoons and stuff, and it really didn't last long because I encourage everybody to try things.
Yeah.
Just try things.
Step outside the box. You just never know.
Just try things. Because, listen, I enjoy art. And then I decided to start painting stuff. And, yeah, I have a little bit of, a slight skill with being able to paint in my hand and whatnot. But I understood, like, I don't love that. So I didn't go any further. I didn't go super further into it. If I got to draw something for graphic, like, that's cool or whatever. But I'd rather delegate that work to somebody who enjoys doing that. Yeah. Because that'll take anything of worth is gonna take time. Nobody is making these $2,000 graphics in 5-10 minutes. You spending hours, few hours making that.
Like, we did lifted parody, like I'm talking about. I was on the laptop for
hours,
at least a whole afternoon, bro. And then at that point, when you put it down, when you pick it up, you're gonna see something else that you want to tweet.
It's the same with painting and the drawing too. Like that stuff takes time. So it's like, ultimately, I believe anyone can do anything, even if you feel like your skill is remedial. You know what I mean? You could sit there and learn, watch the videos, and then take your pen and paper and do it. But it's like, if you don't love it, start to delegate that work out.
Yeah.
You can do it. That's fine. But is it something you love? Because it'll get to a certain point with what you're doing that you got to realize that, like you said earlier, you're not getting the time back. So the time is the most important element.
Exactly.
You can get more money, you can get more clothes, you can get more of any of the other stuff, but the time is the fleeting element.
Do you think that's like the downfall of a lot of brands or designers, like just wanting to be? I don't know that you can ever be too hands-on, but just not trusting somebody else or artistry to carry out a vision that you may have?
I can't even say that, because who's to say that what we perceive to be a downfall is a downfall?
Yeah, I guess it's about perspective.
Like, we're all humbled in different ways.
True.
What we believe to be somebody's downfall could ultimately be their come up, because it's a lesson they may have needed to learn.
Yeah, even for the people that don't learn said lesson.
But how you know that wasn't where they saw their vision? I'm sure Currency could have been like a premier Billboard level artist, right? Mm-hmm. but I don't think that's where he want to be.
That's not what he wanted to do.
So you gotta understand, like, yo, I don't. You never know where somebody's vision may lie. You may see, and that's the beauty of being around people that you trust and care about, because you may have bigger aspirations for their vision than they do. They may not be able to carry it where you can see it going, but that may be your job to help them to understand that cooperation with another person. Because, like I said, like, there's not too many new ideas. Yeah. I haven't seen too many. Everything is pretty much repetition and innovation. Okay.
Yeah, true. I mean, fashion definitely repeats itself.
A lot of things do, man. Yeah. A lot of things do, and the thing is, the idea that makes you want to demonize that, or the idea that makes you want to think of that as a negative thing, is the same person that'll spread the idea that they did it first. Because that's the only way for them to believe they did it first, is that you copied them. Instead of it, we just all had that. Like, why we all can't have an idea if it's a remedial idea?
You know what? One thing that I used to do, especially when I first started doing customs, I would tell, like, Chris, my homeboy is Cole, idea I have for a project. Mm-hmm. And let's say for whatever reason I can't do the project, I would get highly pissed when I would see that same, like, idea that somebody else do it, and they get, like, mad love from it. I used to be like, yo, bro, like, what the hell, dog? But I had to realize, like, ain't nobody spying on me or nothing like that. And I didn't believe that at all. I had to realize that at the end of the day, bro, there's no way in the world you're the only person with this idea. Like, it's very hard for that to play out that way. Secondly, that should motivate me to trust more in my instincts. You know what I'm saying? And actually just follow through whatever that is.
Let the universe give you what it may.
Facts.
I feel like for people, well, because you ever realize that people who have like-minded ideas and stuff, for instance, hippies, people that ascribe to the same mentality as what the hippies subscribe to, whether they believe to be a hippie or not, if that's what they subscribe to, they do like-minded things and characteristics. They may, wear grungy clothes, they may carry rocks in their pocket, they may believe in, like, tarot cards or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is they may have never met another hippie before, but because they subscribe to those same ideals, that they ultimately develop the same characteristics. So I feel like the people that you connect with, as far as the things you subscribe to and the things that you think about subconsciously, are where your ideas may overlap. I feel like there's a realm of ideas, and anyone can catch anything. But I feel like as far as trends go, that's where your trends come from. It's like you see a group of people gravitate towards a singular idea. And like I said, it's not that they stole your idea, or they, the fact that you couldn't come up with the resources doesn't invalidate the fact that you had the idea, wholeheartedly came up with it yourself. Yeah. I just feel like we all can catch waves. You know what I'm saying? Like, within those like-minded similarities, the universe will push waves.
So, I'm going to ask you this. With Fuego Squad, what is that wave that you're trying to translate in these pieces?
Understanding, man. The mission statement. Like, I had a mission statement early because, like I said, I had my business partner and mentor. I had a second. It's good to have a second set of eyes on what you're doing, or a second brain on what you're doing. And from that, helping understand, like, what it is to have a brand or something you're building towards. Is most businesses have mission statements for a reason, and that's like the goal, the overarching goal of it. So the overarching goal of Fuego Squad is FSC like fire. We want to spread understanding and have it overwhelm each soul it touches. In shorthand, take it out of theory. I want you to look at these pants, and I want maybe an old, racist guy to look at these pants, and y'all both add whatever adjective to it. Cool, interesting, unique, different, whatever adjective. But in that, I may have created a conversation between two people that may have not found it any other way. There's understanding that can be found there.
See, that's dope.
So the
That
cool,
is
I
dope.
want to make, it's not about,
That's a bar.
for me, it's not about making these pieces. It's not about making a really cool piece to, get everybody's attention or to put it on Drake or to have this person really admire me for it. Because what I learned from doing, that's why I try things.
Mm-hmm.
I learned from doing is like, yeah, people can admire, people can like what I do. It's not fulfilling. It's not as fulfilling as being able to create understanding. It's not as fulfilling as being impact on those who experience it. Those are things that make me feel fulfilled within life, within what I, everything I do.
When did you come to that understanding? I know the mission statement was early, but even now, like I said,
But accepting the mission statement was late.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because I mean, like even now, like when I earlier on meeting you, I would see you do posts, and I mean you're doing photo shoots and everything like that. But you were hardly ever in anything, not in any pictures. You're
I was trying to showcase his brand, like yeah.
And then it's like now, I'm seeing a different intentional movement that you're doing, and I'm curious because I feel like it definitely runs parallel with what you just told me your mission statement is. So where was that click? Where was that moment you're like, yo, it's time to switch it up?
Like we just discussed beforehand, that as long as you're putting effort forth, you know what I'm saying, as much effort as it may be, you're gonna get feedback. And it's up to you to interpret whether it's bad or good. It's easy to recognize good feedback. You're making sales. People are congratulating you. It's easy. It's the negative or the bad feedback that you have to interpret as still positive feedback, even though it's not what you want.
So what was that feedback?
Yeah, so through that, you know what I'm saying? So at a low point in what I was doing, there was an artist that came down to New Orleans to my guy's shop. Shout out to 21 Rich out of New Orleans. Go follow him.
Shout out
Great clothes. Hey, shop with the guy. But he had an artist that come down to his shop and did a pop-up. Mm-hmm. So I went out there to meet the artist, and I was gonna give him some clothes because at the time I was doing the bandana shorts, and the fault in that was the quantity. I was focusing on quantity and product and whatnot because the idea was on trend. Yeah. So I was gonna bring it down there, and I was gonna let him pick from like 4 or 5 colors I had for him to keep. So whenever I met him, and the first person I met was the homie Euro. Shout out to Euro from New And Euro is he's a model / designer too. Okay. And I gave him a pair of shorts because that's the guy. We've been communicating online. It was a pleasure to meet him in person, and he's he really is good friends with Morgan and a lot of the other homies. So gave him a pair of shorts, and because he's a fashion guy and he understands fashion, we was instant bond. We was able to connect instantly over that and click and have a conversation like we was long lost friends. You know what I mean? Okay. I go over to meet the artist, and I'm going to give him a pair of shorts. He looked at the shorts, and within like the first 3 seconds, he goes, that's not my style. So he started looking through the other clothes I brought, because I kind of brought the rack. And he see 2 other shorts that were like 101 that I hadn't even finished, but I was saving them for the site. But I was like, I can't really sell you those or whatever, but I can't really give you those. But if you want, I'll sell you a pair and give you the other one. And he's like, oh, you're trying to play me. And when he said that, I kind of fell into my emotion as far as, oh man, I just drove 3-4 hours down here to meet this man and give him like $100 product that'll sell for me every other day of the week. Like, yo, and I'm trying to play you or hustle you or whatever, man. I don't have time for this. You know what I'm saying? So instead of being rude or whatnot, the interaction was cut short and I ended up leaving whatever. But on the ride home, I was thinking to myself, the first 3 seconds, like, yo, this man, it was his pop-up. Yeah. He was making money all day from sitting in the same position of throwing a pop-up and making money. Yo, you're not salty. You don't have any animosity towards anything
he was
because you
being-
winning
he was just
all
being
day.
honest.
Yeah. So I had to accept that the feedback he was giving me was just his honest feedback. You know what I'm saying? And whenever I looked at what I was doing, what I presented to him was kind of rudimentary. It was mediocre in the sense that like I knew 3 other designers that were making it that looked exactly the same. It may have had a few different features. They may not have put pockets. They may have did it a different way in a sense, but pretty much the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I was focused on the wrong things.
So what was the shorts that he was like what, it wasn't
The one of ones. The things that like an idea I came up with in like 2017 or 2019 or something like that. It was the vintage tee. So I buy these vintage T-shirts like everywhere I go because like you've seen me at the vintage events. I'm at so many vintage events. I'm able to get these tees for dirt cheap and good tees at that, like cool prints, whatever. They just the wrong sizes. Like I bought a 1998 Space Jam tee that was size small. Like who was?
Okay. Alright, so you got some shorts out of
Yeah.
the tees.
So that's where the idea of like buying them, I'm able to get them cheap in the wrong sizes, and I still want to wear these prints. So I started cutting them up and turning them into shorts. You know what I mean? And it's an idea that still sells to this day. Like I have like 12 shirts. That I gotta finish turning into shorts because it's an idea that's still like the longevity in the idea is there. Take it if you want. You ain't gonna do it better than me though. I mean, I've been doing it for years now. I'm telling you, it's not solid. The solid idea to the point where I present other ideas and they still pick that one. But the root of that was, it was original and it was unique in the one of one. As in, like I can't unless I buy shirts wholesale. As far as the prints, each pair of shorts is one of one because there's no I can't. It's gonna fix for the vintage game.
Exactly.
Most of the time, you're not finding a second shirt like
yeah, no.
Exactly. So it gave those shorts a very unique feeling, and I would do that with other things. But understand at the time, whenever you get so bogged down in the numbers and like how do you make the most amount of money, you're focusing on quantity and whatnot.
Yeah.
And when you're focusing on quantity, things are 101. Because now you got to make 5 or something. You got to make 20 or something. Like with the shorts at the time, I made 40 shorts by hand with a friend that I was paying. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was dumb.
You know what? I wouldn't say it was so much dumb. It was just the idea that, like you said earlier.
It was mediocre. You know what I'm saying?
Check it out.
So listen, but this is what I'm telling you. With a mediocre idea, this is why you delegate out the work. You go to a manufacturer, you go to a printer, you go to somebody because it's a waste of your time. The thing you're not gonna get back. Whenever you can spend your time making the unique thing, the thing that stretches your purpose and helps create the understanding of people. Because the mediocre thing doesn't push an idea; it's just on trend. It's just
in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, I don't want to say it's a bad idea. You should have just did both. But then it's like if you're so
I don't have the time to do the other thing if I'm doing 40 of this thing.
Right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you take the simple idea and you delegate that out to people. And like, these people print shirts. Let them print shirts. Let them print your shirts. There's no reason that I need to stay up 3 days printing 120 shirts whenever they can print it the same week and get it back to me within the same time frame. And the quality is pristine.
So okay. So then at that point, you riding home, you digesting all that.
Yeah.
What's the first change you make after that?
Started reading. Because understand, like, look, I understood that he gave me honest feedback, but I started to look also at the way I approach the situation. Because understand, like, you can't change people. You can only change the way you move. So how did I approach the situation? What did I did wrong? And I didn't understand what I did wrong, so I had to read.
What book?
The first book I read was probably a Robert Greene book. I don't want to say it's 48 Laws. It might have been 48 Laws. Or it might have been Art of Seduction, one of them. But Robert Greene nonetheless. And it was just, I started off with learning communication books because I figured my approach was wrong. I figured why even if
I can tell you right now, you're very articulate.
Figured my approach was wrong. I'm like, these shorts sell for $100 for me. Like any other day of the week. Like what? Like, and for him to look at it and be like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, one, I didn't do enough, but listen, if they sell like that, I shouldn't be giving them for free. Why? Who's giving out who's giving you a free $100? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
so
true. That's true. You know what? It's funny. I'm with that education side of things, because like right now I have a few coaches.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he was talking to me about was I feel weird about offering certain like packages. Like he was talking about, like what are you gonna do as far as like income with this thing? And I'm thinking, okay, well, he's telling me all these different avenues of how I can make money off of, these podcasts and whatnot. And one of them, I was like, I'm kind of moving past it now, but I was real reluctant in the beginning of even going that route of what you said, like paid ads. But like setting up packages, like 3 months, 6 months, a year, you could lock in per episode, in episode runs, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the one thing he said, he was like, well, why do you feel weird about it? I was like, well, because, you know what I'm saying? Like my audience and then, but really, what it really boiled down to was how valuable do you think your content is? Like, what's the impact? Like, how
it's valuable people will sit through the ad.
You get what I'm saying? So then it's like, okay, well, I think it's very valuable. Like, what is your mission? It's like, well, I wanna inspire the dreamers, the talkers to actually get up and move intentionally. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how far you're gonna get to. It's like, okay, well, cool. So you don't think that's valuable enough for someone to say, hey, I want my product to be in front of these people, so let me pay you, let me lock in with you for a year to do that? And I'm like, well, I couldn't answer. I was met at a crossroad. But it's like, why are you giving away something to get? It's almost like doing them a disservice. He's like, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're doing your customers a disservice. It's like, wow. Like I'm still trying to digest it, as you can see.
Yeah,
right.
Like if there's value in it, don't ever give it away for free. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. The only reason I presented that as a product is because I felt like it was a solid medium for understanding, to create a conversation.
Gotcha.
But that was immature line of thinking, because understand this. That's why I said I could have left the part with Euro out in the beginning, but I kept that in because it was like, God in the universe will play games with you. You know what I'm saying? And not games like I'm going to play with you, but like, it's funny how I'll show you this right before it'll happen. Like, and you can decide on whether you want to change it, but only if you can see it.
That's
and
crazy.
I showed the shorts and gave Euro a pair of shorts, and like I told you, like best friends. Like, because he understood, and he's somebody who enjoys clothes and fashion.
Exactly.
But to bring the clothes a room over to somebody who I came 3-4 hours with, and to understand like, what I thought was wrong, I expected them to just enjoy fashion and be like, yeah, I'm cool with this piece or whatever. But to understand truly, like, that's not what they think about. Some people don't care any which way about fashion or what you do, like, because they're in their own world, in their own bubble, So to understand, like, listen, how are you gonna sell something? How are you gonna sell your clothes or talk to somebody who doesn't give a shit for it and still make the sale? Because people do it.
And see, that's where really honing in on which the mission behind
books,
the brand.
Books upon selling, books upon salesman, pitching, social interaction, communicating, oratory, leadership, all of that.
I have a book for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you. No, I don't want to butcher the name. I bought the audio book the other day. I think it's how to earn friends and influence people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have that book actually.
Yeah.
Yo,
hey, look, if anybody, I think any industry,
it's a white cover with red words, right? And one of the words is cursive.
So there's multiple. There's a version of that like that. I just got the one I got is like blue background with But yo, there's some gems in there. Y'all gotta check that out for sure.
Yo, it's a
But
big thing.
okay, so you started reading books.
Yeah, I read books and I understood like that the key to being successful in anything that you're trying to do isn't having the best product or the most of a product or the first of a product. It's being able to communicate that effectively. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I go back to my approach with the artist because my first thing I did was present him with clothes and put clothes in his face and understand like you can like these pants or for shoes, somebody can like those shoes, they can like the way it looks on the outside, they can cut it in half, look at the inside, the midsole, all of that. And they may love it for 2 weeks, 2 years maybe, but ultimately they may sell it, trade it, give it away, give it to their son, something else. But understand that you can have relationships and bonds with people that last lifetimes.
Facts.
But that's because, essentially we're one three-dimensional object in a space, just like a pair of pants or something, you know what I mean? Just we could talk. But the difference is our brain. Our brain makes us layered. It gives us depth beyond comprehension of another individual. That's why most people seek to understand others. That's what marketing is, understanding groups of people in order to sell certain products or items. You know what I mean? We seek to understand each other on some sort of level, as closed off as somebody may be. It's what interest can you pique to create that understanding on somebody. And a lot of people do it visually. You know what I'm saying? Girls who look pretty, they'll wear makeup, they'll wear dresses that compliment them, they'll even get surgery because they understand that for other people, if I look good, I automatically become interesting. Guys may paint their fingernails, may wear flashy clothes. They're rich, they buy chains with a bunch of diamonds because it shows a level of interest to where it's like not everybody has those chains. You know what I mean? So
what are you doing differently from everybody else?
That got you.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, so there's different ways. Like,
yo, okay, wait. And you got all that from okay. I'm gonna need that list of books that you was reading.
I got all that from just approaching one person and this man telling me that's not my style. And that's not even, and that's and that's really just the tip of the cup. Because honestly, the other part of it is why I said I fell in my emotions because I understood. Like, listen, from reading those books, that's where I understood. Like, people, you can live in your cool. You can whatever role you want to fill, you can fulfill that role. Essentially, you want to look like the cool guy in the room. You want to look like you the rich guy in the room. You want to look like you're the adventurous guy in the room. You want to look like you can fill any role. You want to look like the clown. You can look like the clown.
Okay, so
but
what was that? What did
it's controlling your emotions is what allows you to sit in whatever role you pick. Because understand that through opening up to people, just conversation, people can open back up to you, and if they pick at what you opened up before they opened up, if you open up to them and instead of open up back, you decide to pick and ask questions about what I've opened up to you about, you can pop somebody's bubble, i.e. you can pull them out of the role. You understand who they are truly.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because before you get to know somebody, you view them in a role that they've set upon you, the perception that they give the world. The coolest person on Instagram may really cry in his mom's lap every other night.
So the question I want to ask is, from that interaction, and then you gain that understanding, how did that translate outside of just sales and approach? How did that translate into the development and growth of you as a person and a designer? Because I feel like we're talking a lot about sales, marketing, just understanding communication, but it sounds like when we get it really tap into that emotional side of things, it sounds like you had let me do a quick temperature check on myself and say, okay, well, yeah, I got some things I got to switch up.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to sit there and take what you were putting out on the table and basically, give you the feedback that everything that you were doing was,
basic.
Everything you were doing, like everything, all the effort you extended out here is interpreted as though you're trying to hustle me. Like, I put in all this effort for one hustle, like just to hustle you out of a few dollars. And for that to be interpreted that way, and for me to feel some type of way, it didn't allow me the chance to change that opinion in any sort of way, or be prepared for a reaction as far as he didn't like the clothes. Because, like I said, I drove 3-4 hours down there to give him the shorts. In my head, I was just expecting him to take the shorts. Despite even liking me or wanting to, of course I wanted to give the shorts so that it would garner continued business or further business. But there was no guarantee of that. So the expectation I really had was to just give him a pair of these shorts and have a conversation. And we had a conversation. Boom, he didn't want the shorts.
I don't want the product. I'll chat with you for a second.
That was the reason for the season, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the conversation was sour because of how I did it. You know what I mean? But that was because, listen, whenever you present things that are, shorts or a product to people, they have that choice. They have the right to either like it or dislike it. It's not up to you to force people to like something. And most people expect the courtesy of people just saying thank you.
True. I'm more really thinking close on the brand itself, because it feels like that interaction. Well, watch this. That interaction that you were having with this individual. He didn't want the product, but he was open to talk to you. And like you said, just getting your hold of your emotions. You could have still maintained that relationship.
Right,
yeah. Especially when you get into like, what's the main goal here? If the main goal is to fully push what my brand's mission is, you were still able to accomplish that. And I feel like that's a really big thing we need to kind of like hang on to, is kind of taking your emotions out of it, man. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to, because you put a lot into it, like you said.
That people can dislike what you do, but be open to have that conversation and be ready for the no. Don't always expect everybody to say that they like it, and they love it to your face. Be ready for, if you're ready for something, for anybody, say you're going into a business meeting, pitch something, and you're prepared for the no, then whenever they hit you with the no, it's not a wall. It's an obstacle. I could go around it. I can now, and that's the beauty in books and learning how to communicate effectively. Because if you could communicate effectively, things don't trip you up. Yeah, no, you can't. No, you may not buy this from me, but my goal was never to sell it. You just liked it. And I'm just going to give you some details about it. But ultimately, I'm trying to tell you that this just started the conversation between us. Gotcha. Yeah. So that the no for you, you're saying no to something that I wasn't even shooting for.
Which in essence will probably get that person.
They ultimately they want to shout with you after that, because you're, you know what I'm saying? If you want to say, in simple terms, I'm selling self. I'm selling me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tells you no. Like, how many people have you met that tell you no to you? Like, no, I don't want to get to know you.
Nah. I always say that in a cocky way, but like, I don't really.
How many people you say, hey, like, yo, how are you doing today? Or how have you been? Like, no, I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to know you.
I've never experienced that.
It doesn't happen. People are not that rude. Like I say, I expected a courtesy of somebody just telling me thank you for giving me this. Most people, the common courtesy whenever you greet them is they talk to you, or they greet you back. You know what I mean? It's an awkward exchange whenever you stop to greet somebody and they notice you and they keep going.
Yeah, it almost seems like you're not human. Like, what's wrong with that person? You know what I'm saying?
People are, it's simple but reading. You don't put these things together until you really dive into those books. I mean, like,
I think
some people can. For me, it didn't click.
Yeah. Having I don't say good social skills, but being. I'm trying to think of the right word.
Social skills is it. That's what it is.
Yeah, I guess
like,
it would be social skills.
Like, if you're social, the more socially adept you are, the better. Like, they're the better salesman. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I tell you, like, they're ready for the no in the sale. They're ready for people to tell them no. A lot of people are selling like $1,000 things to a business that's already struggling because they're like, yeah, this will help your business. But you're telling it to somebody who's sitting there looking at numbers so hard that they're like, I wouldn't spend $1,000 extra a month, and they still get the sale.
There's a oh man, there's a philosophy I learned about selling. I'm gonna tell it to you. I'm gonna tell it to you because I don't want to overshadow what we're talking about now. But now that we have that understanding of like, okay, I need to focus more on communication, take my emotions out of it, right? And then of course, find a way to focus more on these. I say one of one, but the more unique pieces that really speak to
one of one, essentially, yeah.
Speak to the
purpose I'm trying to present.
Now it's like, okay, going forward, what you got coming up?
Man, as far as fall winter goes, we're about to drop the manufacturing side of the clothing, and yeah, it's still a big focus on exclusivity as far as it's a limited run of 50 all over print, cut and sewn, oversized tees.
Okay.
Made in Vietnam, you know what I mean? So that's coming up in the next month or two. As far as one of ones and truly unique items, the site is being revamped. It's almost 60% done. Okay. But we're taking down what we traditionally had up as far as like I would do, you know, I wouldn't be able to get every picture of every color, but I have every color of most things. So I would do like, yeah, shorts would be up there, bandana shorts, and I would have the list, and you could pick whatever color you wanted. And for some of them, the picture would change. You know, like normal website, we're not doing that no more. You know what I mean? Okay. Because I want to focus more on the one-of-one nature. So we're gonna scale down the one-of-one products and not be so vast with it. Mm-hmm. But each product will be uploaded individually with its own little stat sheet, you know, with product details and everything. And you'll only be able to pick between one or two half sizes that I'll be able to alter it to. But it essentially is still a one-of-one item. No two will be the same. And price points will be varied.
You know what?
Like, I was tired of doing like these regular price points that would fit people's pockets as far as I knew. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now it's like, yo, if I feel this shirt is $66, this shirt is $66. Like this one over here might be $78.
Okay, so like I just had this dope idea. You know what you should do? I feel like any business can benefit from content. Like legit. Like I don't know.
Always. Yes. Content is key.
So like if you're doing these one of one pieces, are they from like thrifted garments? A lot of it.
Some of them will be. Some of them are fabrics that I was able to find and source.
I feel like you should document that.
The sourcing or the cutting and sewing?
A little bit of both. Like, cause it tells a story. Like yo, like these shorts.
It would be beautiful to put a video to every piece, to get it to a point. No, get it. It would be beautiful to get it to a point to where I'm dropping like 5 pieces a month, and each piece got a video behind it, documenting it and really like pushing it. But like I'm saying, that's on a level we're selling a $10,000 garment. Like I'd want to put at least 2-3 bands in it as far as sourcing and paying a videographer and this, that. Like I wouldn't want to, because I would want it to be like.
Nah, bro. It don't even take all that.
It doesn't. But that's the vision I see it at if I did it that.
See, man. So like I say that because like I did a video for my boy Devin. and we're gonna have to talk. We have to talk. I'm not saying I gotta shoot it, but I'm saying like it's easier than you would think. But that's dope. So we got an update on the website, more one-on-one pieces. You know what I'm saying? We got to release. When do you think it's gonna be dropping? Like the
website or the one-on-one pieces?
Both. Let's give it if you can. If you got like a roundabout.
To finish up this summer, going into fall, we're gonna have button downs and we're gonna have more t-shirt shorts. Those are probably going to be releasing within the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
All of that is going to be dropping. And after that, the first thing for the winter is going to be pants, denims. Denim.
You did I saw the Betty Boop pants.
Crazy.
That thing was crazy. I was like, man, I've always wanted some pants like that.
Yo.
Like with like the multiple.
And those are the 1.0s. I don't even know if I'm done on the idea. Like I was thinking about going back to it and adding distress and rips and like maybe some coffee stains. I didn't want to do paint splatter. I wanted to do coffee stains. And I wanted to buy like a hot cup of coffee and just sit it on the pants.
This is what you use your Starbucks for, dog.
Pour it on the pants. You know what I mean? On some let's see what happens type stuff, because I've just been thinking, I've really been on kind of like, I would say a mix between an old school 60s, 70s, 80s, and a grunge look too.
Yeah,
So,
that's tight.
Yeah,
That's
like,
tight. That's tight. I'm digging that.
It's a solid mix. I really enjoy button-ups right now for the fact that button-ups can convey different levels of relaxation.
But
Yeah.
yeah, nah, man, it's a vibe. If I'm not rocking t-shirts, I definitely got the viscose or the rayon button-ups going.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. Like so. I always like to end off and close things out with this. If you could give 3 gems, I tell people, I'm having these conversations to kind of pick up some gems along the way for myself.
Yeah.
And I want to share them with my audience.
Yeah.
You can give 3 gems, whether you're an inspiring designer, whether you're in the game, want to get in the game, for any industry, what would they be? Like if you were talking to a young you, knew the potential they had,
If I was talking to a young me,
what would you tell them? Right off the top of the head. No elaboration.
Are we talking about general gems or what I'm doing in the field I'm in?
You can mix them up. Give them a little bit of both.
Yo, if I'm talking to a younger me within the field I'm in, it's don't print shirts. Don't print shirts. Anything you can get somebody else to make in bulk, get them to make it in bulk. Don't waste your time.
Okay. Now, if you're talking to just a general gem,
This is general gem.
applied to any industry.
Anything you can get somebody else to make in bulk, have them make it. Don't waste your time. I waste a lot of time. Shirts. That's why I say shirts.
Okay. All right. So that's one. Outsource work if you can.
Outsource.
There you
work
go.
if
That's
can. That is very important.
Okay, you got 2 more.
The second gem would be
General gem.
understand that everybody you meet is an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone you meet.
An opportunity for a sale or just an opportunity in general?
It's an opportunity. If we're talking in general, you never know what conversation with someone might lead to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking sales, everyone's an opportunity. You don't overestimate or underestimate anybody's pockets. If you go in there and you're just selling self, let them decide what they want to buy, because ultimately they're gonna decide what they go buy. Yeah, some people do succumb to upselling, and it's a fine thing for people to have, but ultimately, what is upselling if you could sell one jacket for like $10,000, $70,000? Like, you think somebody, if they're paying $1,000 for something, that they're gonna buy multiples right then and there?
Yeah.
And you're shooting for the stars. They might, but more than likely they're buying that and then coming back a week or 2 later, next week, a month, whatever day, and they come and get something else because they bought that with particular intentions in mind.
Okay.
So everybody's an opportunity.
All right. So third gem.
Third
Close
gem. Third gem. Let life humble you.
Let life humble you.
Let life humble you.
That's a bar.
Understand. Understand. In order for life to humble you, you have to go on an ego trip. You have to think of yourself so big that life gotta humble you. If you thinking too small, how life gonna humble you? If your aspirations is to be Waffle House manager, you know what I'm saying, and pay for your kids' child support and this, that, and your third. Those are realistic goals, but how is life gonna humble that? Think about it. How does life humble that? Like, what, are you gonna get fired the next day? Like, what? Like, so let life humble you, but you have to dream big to let it humble you. But you understand, like, I can't tell you to dream big because, like I just told you, people have different levels of big. Some people's level of big is just that level of sustainability of being a manager and paying child support. I'm telling you, you gotta let life be able to humble you. Think bigger than what you think is big.
That's hilarious. That was just bad specific, dog. Like, why the guy gotta work out?
Because I'll bring. Well, I was just something I thought.
It's all good. It's all
but
good.
I said that because you told me earlier. You were like, I noticed that, you know, beforehand with your brand, you weren't as face first with what you do and how you do it. And now that I see you more, putting your face behind what you do.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Because I didn't have big aspirations for me. I had big aspirations for my brand.
I would say it makes it seem like it's more believable. I'm not gonna lie to you, and we're actually cool. Like, we're friends. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I showed this man a bandana jacket. The first bandana jacket I made, I showed it. This man was blown.
Yeah, I was blown away. But it's like to sit there and say, like, I'm friends with this man, but at the same time to know what the potential of what he can do. I'm saying, as a consumer, as a potential client, looking and seeing you in front definitely makes me believe in the brand more. I'm gonna be biased because I know you.
Yeah.
But didn't know you. Oh yeah. It's like what I see is like, oh, this is what he's doing right now. I wonder what he could.
You gotta live your truth, man. You gotta think about it this way, because it's like another thing with just whenever you have both feet in what you do, you look at a bunch of aspects of things. And one thing I did look at is how other brands function so efficiently. How is Nike within this super realm of preference to where people pick it over Adidas? Adidas be having sometimes better performance, gear, but people pick Nike because they live within the realm of preference, and that's based upon the fact that they have a simple motto. Like, their mission statement is just do it. Like, it's very simple. You get it. You understand. Like, oh, they want you to just do whatever you think you need to do. Whatever you think is on your mind, do it. But not only do they provide a simple mission statement to follow, they put faces behind the mission statement that help you understand and reinforce it. Whenever they put LeBron James's face next to the phrase "just do it," and you go watch this man carry a whole Cleveland team on his back to the finals and win, you can literally believe in those words of just doing it because you see somebody live that truth. So once I realized, if you're not putting a face behind what you're doing, it's hard for people to understand the purpose of what you're doing.
That's what it is, man. Yo, this honestly, this interview could go on for probably about another hour. Yeah, but we gotta leave something on the table for them to want a part two. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But real quick, before we even get out of this, let them know where they can find you at. Everything.
Man, the website is pitbullsonly.com. All right. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's FSC Clothing Brand _ with the pitbull with the flame behind his ears. We're on Twitter at the same handle, FSC Clothing Brand _ We're on TikTok. I think TikTok is Pitbulls Only or Fuego Lord. What else is there? TikTok. Snapchat, just message me. I think that's all the platforms. Well, it's pretty much all the platforms. Pitbullsonly.com is the main important one. I will try to keep consistent updates every week for y'all because I really like the site. A lot of people have given me a lot of good feedback on it. What I was doing wrong was my lack of updates, but now it has my entire focus. Like, that is the main that is going to be the main platform in which I will be selling things or clothes or presenting things on. I would like to make it to where the website sees it first so that y'all go there first. The analytics on there are very vital to me.
Yeah, we gotta know how things are going.
Yeah,
man. The analytics are important.
Yo, for real. But you know, much love to having me on here. And
yeah, man, I appreciate you letting me
being on the
bro.
channel, man. No, it's an honor, bro. I enjoy it. It's just good to talk and put you know, my face forward with everything. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the thing about it for me, man, I think like the story is pretty dope, and the fact of like what you're doing. Somebody out there is gonna probably want to do the same thing, and outside of even all of that, just the idea of honing home on being intentional, really being intentional on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and seeing the fruit of that is all I like to put on Front Street for people to see, man, because you just never know, like your next blessing is just an intent, a movement away, like right around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's an opportunity. It doesn't know what fruits may grow from the seeds that we planted here. As far as this video, as far as me being on your channel, as far as your channel helping me, you know what I mean? No one knows. But that's why I say, if you know, in high school, the motto for a class was Carpe Diem, and you know,
seize the day.
Yeah, and you know, you can seize the day, but I want you to seize every opportunity. Everybody that you meet, if you value the time that you have with them, whether it was you talking with them to buy a candy bar at the gas station, if you take that opportunity to be an impact on people, you'll have a much better day, and you'll understand that the fruits of these opportunities will come to bear a lot quicker.
Facts. Man, I don't even know how to follow up with that with the ending. Yo. Success Ain't Random podcast. This is my 4th installment of it. Man, it's just getting better and better, dog. Like, I appreciate you letting me come in here and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Showcase my audience, see what you got going on. Yo, you could do it too. This is the 4th one. I got more heat coming for y'all. If there is somebody specific that y'all think I need to holler at, let me know. I am more than willing to talk to them. Because, hey, we're getting a lot of value. We're getting a lot of gems. I think this is all stuff that you can apply to your life. For any goal that you have that you're trying to accomplish, man, take what you have from today and apply it and see how far you'll get. Put yourself on a time frame. Give it about 2-3 months. See where you're going to get at. I guarantee you it's going to speak volumes and shake mountains in your life. But with that, I'm V-Nell J. This is Success Ain't Random. Remember, be blessed. Don't stress. You already know the rest. And we out.
We reap what we sowing. To be peaceful, you gotta know violence. Keep it low, please don't cause a commotion. My response to the Levian ruins, and really not sure that's your type of promotion. We up early on road, rolling. Hog the lane and our ball, we ain't bowling. In 16, I hopped off in the Ford. Headed to Texas, not sure where I'm going. I'm the coldest on earth, bring the wind just to out them LaFaz. They see my devotion.